Breaking news. Biafra Liberation Army General Commander Igwe Butuzor threatens to take over power, gives ultimatum to BRGIE officials. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 19th of December 2024, and I have breaking information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, this is so emotional. And I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very, very important. I can assure you, my people. The General Commander of the Biafra Defense Forces, General Igwe Butuzor, has come out in the public and threatened to take over power as he gives ultimatum to the BLGIE officials. I'm going to read this very news in details, and I want everybody to pay attention to it. And after reading the news, I will give my own suggestion and opinion. I want you to know that what is going on right now is nowhere favorable to a common Biafran. I want you to know this. And those that have the interests of our people at heart, those that believe in the freedom of our people, those that want our people to remain law-abiding citizens of Biafra nation, and those that know the importance of security and defense of Biafra must not joke with this very information. So please, all Biafrans should pay attention while I read in details, and after this, I will give my own opinion. Now, 18th December 2024, memo to all ministers and continental representatives. Mandate for conflict resolution. The BDC, which means the Biafra Defense Council, has mandated the Conflict Resolution Committee, CRC, to organize an emergency cabinet meeting involving all elected ministers and continental representatives of the Biafra Republic Government in exile, BRGIE. Objective and purpose. The purpose of this meeting is to chart a pathway forward. Pending the return of the Prime Minister, Ambassador Simon Ekpa, the discussions must adhere to the guidelines set forth in the Biafra Charter. You know, whenever Biafra Charter is mentioned, the umama for everybody, because this has nothing to do with Biafra Unite. I want to be very, very specific here. Now, there's a deadline and consequences. There is a deadline of 14 working days for this meeting to occur, starting from this day, 19th of December 2024 to the 7th of January 2025. He said, if this meeting does not happen within this time frame, the BDC, Biafra Defense Council, will approve the transfer of power to the Biafra Defense Forces, BDF. Let me take this last part again. The BDC, let me start from here. If this meeting does not happen within this time frame, the BDC, Biafra Defense Council, will approve the transfer of power to the Biafra Defense Forces, BDF. Signed, General Igwe Butuzor, 19th December 2024. Now, those of you who don't have reasoning capacity or mental toughness will not understand the meaning of this very memo. I'm going to explain it to you before giving my opinion. The person who signed this very memo is the General Commander of the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Defense Forces. Not only Biafra Liberation Army, but the entire Biafra Armed Forces. Now, that means that this is very, very serious. And do you know the meaning of this? This is a sign, a warning of coup d'etat. Now that we have a government and Biafra has been redeclared, it's going to be a sin, a calamity that from the beginning of the sovereign state of Biafra, and then we fall into the hands of the military men. Because these are our military, even though they haven't, been recognized by the world as the Biafran army. But we all know, in reality, that the BDF, as it stands today, is the Biafra army. We, the Biafran people, know that. Now, if peradventure, from the beginning of Biafra, I'm talking about based on reality on ground. I'm not talking about what is happening in abroad, because whoever that is going to recognize Biafra will also know what is going on ground. If from the beginning of this sovereignty, the leadership falls into the hands of our military, meaning that we are under military rule, I don't think that this is going to give us a good name. Please, those top individuals in the Biafra government, pay attention to this. Whether you are on the side of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze or you are on the side of Ogenkere, wherever you belong, I don't want to know, please. If you have the Biafrans at heart and our freedom, you must not allow the power to go to the military. If we ever go through this and fall into the hands of our army, Biafra will become autocratic nation. From the beginning, from the beginning, if Biafra eventually falls into the hands of our military, we are finished. Everywhere will not just be militarized, but also there will be arms everywhere in the hands of people who are not supposed to be in charge of the government. The arms will be in the hands of those who are not supposed to be in charge of government. So we must not allow this coup d'etat to happen. Please, I am begging once again. I am begging Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, please do the needful. I am begging those on the side of Ogenkere, please do the needful. Bikono. You must not allow this to happen. Do not allow the Biafra army, even when we are still struggling to fully liberate ourselves from the zoo. Now the Biafra military are already in charge. Some of you may be in abroad doing your own. But those who you want them to recognize you as a sovereign nation will equally know what is going on in your homeland, where they want to recognize. And by the time they realize that the power is actually in the military, in the hands of the army, and nobody is controlling the military. If your government fails to be in the control of the armed forces, you are doomed. No nation will recognize you. I want you to write today's date somewhere so that you remember this broadcast. Today's date is 19th of December, 2024. If this coup d'etat happens, this is the original coup d'etat, not the propaganda that is flying on social media. Not the propaganda that is flying on social media. Nke Ngozi Orabueze jikwa chọọ ime coup d'etat, nke o jikwa me onwe deputy prime minister, nke Ogenkere jikwa chọọ ime coup d'etat, nke Ogenkere jikwa wee chọọ ịbụzi the leader. I don't pay attention to these things. I'm talking about what is happening on ground. Bikono ono nwa bụ ndị nọ n'isi na government. Aka m apụgokwa anọzikwa m there, anọzi m n'isi, because we now have a government. If it's in those days when Biafra movement was solely in the hands of the media persons like me and others, then things would have been not the way it is right now. But for the fact that we now have a government, government here, I am calling all of you, please do not allow this to happen. And don't think that you are going to fight these men. You cannot fight these men. The Zoo Janjaweed army, who are more equipped, have been fighting them over the years. but they have not been able to conquer. Don't think you will fight these men. Do not fight these men. And even though you close down the chapter of funding them, I want you now to see the danger ahead. Anything that makes you to block or stop a way of funding these people, our land is gone. Because these people are already armed. Everything is in their hands. All the arms and weapons are in their possession. So if you stop a way of funding them, what do you think that is going to happen? There will be crime in our land, and we cannot allow that to happen. This is a lone voice from the wilderness, shouting and crying every day for our people. If you ever stop funding these people while they are still in the possession of these, dangerous weapons, there will be crime, and you must not allow this to happen. Please, this is the danger ahead. Don't think that it contribute to more send the fego, then they will fizzle out. Don't you ever think that. Don't reason like that. These people cannot allow themselves to be captured by the zoo. They will do everything they could. I'm just emphasizing, it's like a prophecy, because this is what I have seen already. And if care is not taken, it might happen. But God forbid that it happens. Bikono, turn away. This is where the danger lies. Find a way to resolve this. I am shouting on top of my voice from the wilderness. Find a way to resolve this. If these people lacks fund, you don't know what is going to happen in the nearest future. Remember, they already know where to buy the granite. Don't allow this to escalate. PM Potakwa, I will present all my broadcasts and activities to him. Akam de Kwanocha. I'm begging everybody now. Do the needful on time. Do the needful on time. The earlier the better. And I also want to use this opportunity to appeal to the Biafra Defense Forces, the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Resistance Fighters, especially those in the highest position, the high command of the Biafra Liberation Army and BDF in general. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to all of you involved. Please, do not meddle into the politics of Biafra. You see this government? Leave whatever they are doing alone, please. You have one focus, because we cannot afford our defense to be distracted. You all have seen how Musa is boasting. I have another video that I will be posting after this one. How the Zoo Janjaweed terrorists invaded our land just 2 days ago. I'll be posting it after this very one. Please, the Biafra Defense Forces in general, especially those in the highest office, must not meddle into the politics of the Biafra government. Allow them to play their politics. At the end of the day, we all will see who is really, really serious to fight for our liberation. We are going to see it. We are not running away. We are here. We go nowhere. We will see it. It's not going to be up to 3 months. If it stays too long, the 6 months, we will see with our own eyes. That's why I have encouraged my fellow Biafrans not to be quick in rendering judgment. Let us wait first. Let us wait and see. Please, the Biafra Defense Forces, especially those in the highest command, must not meddle into the politics of the BRGIE. Allow them to play their politics. Please, both funds, the politics, every single thing concerning the BLGIE, please do not meddle into it. It's an advice. It's not a command. It's not a command to the Biafra Liberation Army. It's an advice. Don't meddle into the politics of BLGIE. Allow them to play their politics. Focus on your defense, because why I'm saying this is that if you allow yourselves to be distracted with the politics in the BLGIE, then we will be overrun by our enemies. If we allow that to happen, then we will be overrun by our enemies. Please, every BDF personnel, especially those in the highest command, must take this very message and appeal very, very seriously. Thank you, my people. Tosalo Nomozia, and make it go viral.